Now we're going to add a new component to our circuits called a transistor. And transistors are super important to computers. All modern electronic computers use transistors, and there's millions and millions and millions of them inside of the computer, and they're all scaled way down through a process called photolithography. And we're going to be working with these larger transistors so we can understand how they work, but down at that miniature size scale, they work exactly the same way. So what a transistor is it's a switch, just like the push button switch that we were just working with, except this switch has no moving parts. It relies on material science and the effects of electricity and so on to open and close the switch. So I want to keep it simple. So in a normal switch, in the push button switch, right, you've got, let's say, a positive and a negative side, and the electricity cannot flow across the switch unless you push the button, which basically connects the two sides, and now electricity can flow across it. Well, in a transistor, you have the same thing. You see you have three prongs here. And so on one side, you have power going into the transistor. On the other side, you have power coming out. And the power cannot jump from one side of the transistor to the other unless the base, which is the pin in the middle, is powered. Okay, and this depends. There's different types of transistors, but again, let's keep it simple. So the way that we close this switch is we apply power to that middle pin called the base, and then power is able to move from one side of the transistor to the other. Inside, the way it works is you've got a material on one side of the transistor and the same material on the other side of the transistor, and in the middle there's a different material that electricity cannot cross unless power is applied to the base, and that changes changes the properties of that middle material, and allows electricity to flow across the entire transistor. So it's just a switch, but there's no moving parts. And we're going to be able to use this switch to create more interesting circuits.